Now, I don't know about any of you lot, but whenever it gets into late December and I hear Andy Williams croon that it's the most wonderful time of the year, I think, yeah mate, you're right, it's Royal Rumble season. WWE's annual Get Out of Jail Free card remains the most important weapon in their booking arsenal. Doesn't matter how bad the preceding year was, the scale and scope of the Rumble always gives them enough goodwill to launch a bit of a restart. Plus, the Rumbles themselves are incredible fun. Still though, Vince Gunner Vince, and even with an open goal 30 men and women wide, he's still capable of missing the target. When, Adam? Well, if you stop interrupting, I'll tell you, because my name is Adam Cleary, and these are 10 times WWE got the Royal Rumble main event wrong. Number 10, Royal Rumble 2012. I'll just say it, Sheamus is a really good wrestler and a stand-up guy to boot. But, and I'll also just say it, his extraordinary record in the company probably represents a slight overachievement. He's never been the guy, but is still a 4-time world champion, king of the ring, and in 2012, a Royal Rumble winner. Didn't really make a huge amount of sense at the time though. Sheamus was neither an up-and-comer nor a truly established main eventer, making his win neither fresh nor particularly exciting. Again, great guy, good wrestler, but not someone fans were desperate to see succeed back then. Worse still, it set up one of the most disappointing title matches in WrestleMania history. His 18-second triumph over Daniel Bryan. For the record, I always do like to point out that this match got cut that short because both Triple H and The Undertaker wanted 10 minutes for their entrances. Number 9, Royal Rumble 1989. 2 names from the list of Royal Rumble winners stand out like a sore thumb. Coincidentally, the first 2, Jim Duggan and Big John Studd. Now if you think that's unkind, let's put it this way. They're the only 2, besides Shinsuke Nakamura, who won the Royal Rumble but never held the world title. And that includes Vince McMahon. But at least the former, with his trusty 2x4 and endearing catchphrase, was pretty popular. His triumph at the inaugural Rumble in '88 didn't catapult him to the main event, but he stuck around long enough to become an important member of the roster, with that victory being his claim to fame. Studd, on the other hand, actually departed the company the same year that he won the Rumble, making all the effort they had put into pushing him as a breakout star count for precisely nothing. He said, well, if I'm such a star, then give me more money. WWE said, lol, no, and that was it. Number 8, Royal Rumble 2017. Randy Orton, 2-time Royal Rumble winner, actually sounds about right. Whatever his foibles, the Viper is undeniably a future Hall of Famer, so yes, fair play. But 2017 was perhaps not the right time. Orton was only loosely involved in the SmackDown main event scene after the return of the brand extension, not having really done anything of note since, oh god, Brock Lesnar got on top of him at SummerSlam and just, what did he do? He mistook his skull for a jar that had a very tight lid. Despite winning the Rumble though, he went on to accomplish very little during the rest of the year. After winning the title from his former leader at WrestleMania, you remember they had the projected maggots on the mat, that was really weird, he held it for all of a month before losing 3 matches on the spin to Jinder Mahal. Still though, the palpable relief of the live crowd when he eliminated Roman maybe tells you all you need to know. Number 7, Royal Rumble 2011. Now whether or not Alberto Del Rio ever had the credentials to be WWE's leading man is perhaps still a bone of contention, but ultimately, he was the man they were going with in 2011. You can't really criticise that too much. He had ability in the ring and charisma out of it. He was fast-tracked to the top, making him feel fresh and new, so on paper, exactly the kind of person you'd want to win the Rumble. The problem is more the booking of the match itself. Specifically, Santino Marella getting that huge moment where it looked for a second like he was actually going to do it. While, don't get me wrong, a brilliant spot in isolation, in the context of the Rumble and, you know, the path it charts to WrestleMania, it felt more like a TV battle royal. Del Rio's big, star-making moment entirely undermined by what was a comedy spot. I know, look, I really like it, but just take a step back. Objectively, that is not a good decision. Number 6, Royal Rumble 2016. Now, despite how it looks, sounds, and, well, sometimes literally is, we're reasonably well-seasoned Triple H defenders here at What Culture. A lot of stuff he gets flack for isn't really his fault, and his accomplishments are largely merited, but, when it comes to his 2016 Rumble win, oh dear, While this decision was obviously taken in order to help reignite some of the fan support for Roman Reigns, there were surely other, younger heels who could have fulfilled the same purpose. Like, I don't know, Bray Wyatt maybe, Kevin Owens, in Ellsworth. The worst part is they clearly didn't even have complete faith in that his beating Roman here would even generate heat. Hence why he went out second last and left it to Dean Ambrose to finish runner-up instead. You know, I know we criticise WWE now, but just looking back, 2016 was... that was a year. Number 5, Royal Rumble 1993. Now you can probably say with a degree of confidence that Yokozuna was the least likely of all the Royal Rumble winners to put on a 5-star classic. And yes, once again, that does include Vince McMahon. And though it's true that judging him through the lens of today's wrestling is highly unfair, that fact does not change. He was an attraction more than he was a wrestler. A mightily impressive one, yes, but not something that really belonged in the main event. I mean, that's certainly one school of thought anyway, but in 1993, WWE decided that he was the man to win a Royal Rumble that featured the likes of Ric Flair, The Undertaker, Mr. Perfect, and Randy Savage, and then still go on to beat Bret Hart at WrestleMania 9. Why? Number 4, Royal Rumble 1999. No one can have any complaints about the eventual WrestleMania 15 headliner. Seeing as, you know, The Rock vs. Steve Austin was the feud that defined the Attitude Era. How we got there though, fuck me pink lads, what a farce. Vince McMahon, a 53-year-old businessman whose experience in the ring mainly consisted of him just getting stunned once or twice, won the Royal Rumble. I get it, it's wrestling and he was ultimately the real heel during Austin's emergence and thus the biggest hurdle he had to overcome, yeah. But WCW got absolutely pelted, deservedly so, for daring to put its biggest prize on the arm of civilians like David Arquette and Vince Russo. Decisions that were said to have destroyed much of its credibility as a major wrestling promotion. I get that it popped a big rating for Raw, but regardless, this was a dumb call. Number 3, Royal Rumble 2013. Now, if you manage to convince my close, personal friend The Rock to take time out of his incredibly busy daily schedule of eating 400 pancakes and single-handedly rescuing faltering Hollywood franchises, then he goes in the main event, no ifs, no buts. But having him beat CM Punk for the WWE Championship? Oh, that's a big oof from me. The man who had held the belt for a record-setting 434 days, dragging the product back to a level of relevancy, losing it to a part-timer? It also confirmed to us, as if there was ever any doubt that WrestleMania 29's main event would be a straight-up rehash of the year before, leaving Punk after an era-defining 18 months swinging around in the cold like a dick in the wind. Don't get me wrong, I understand how money works, but WWE choosing a rematch between two aspiring movie stars rather than the culmination of nearly 2 years of goddamn character work and fan investment felt like a real spit in the old face. Number 2, Royal Rumble 2006. As you all know, criticism of this match traditionally lingers on whether or not it was right that Rey Mysterio's push should have invoked the memory of Eddie Guerrero. But the thing is, that match did not close out the night. Instead, it was a World Heavyweight Championship bout between Kurt Angle and Mark Henry. A match that was as thrown together as they come, with the Olympic gold medalist having only been on the same brand as his challenger for literally a couple of days. The reason this went on last was so that The Undertaker could come out at the end and give Angle the fight of his life. Now you do need to close out the show with this because A, the ring breaks, and B, if you don't immediately go off the air, it would just be incredibly awkward watching him walk back up the ramp. Never mind the fact you're also signaling to the audience that Rey's big WrestleMania coronation is just a secondary story. There's production issues to consider, you idiot. Number 1, Royal Rumble 2014. In much the same way that Shawn Michaels dominated 1996, or Stone Cold Steve Austin dominated 1998, or I've dominated your mom, 2014 was Daniel Bryan's year. To everyone, of course, that is, except those in charge of booking the show. Despite clearly being the most over member of the entire WWE roster, Bryan was overlooked for the position of Royal Rumble winner in favour of Batista. Fans would go wild for his return after 3 years, thought Vince, because, and I'm literally quoting what he said to shareholders when he was getting grilled about this, just look at him. Big Dave was still a superstar, of course, but his popularity among the diehards wasn't such that he could just jump right into the spot of the Mania main event. Not when there was such a capable and more deserving star waiting in the wings. This was an opportunity to make right all of those booking wrongs that Bryan had endured, and in the end, they just made an even bigger one. All's well that ends well, I guess, but still, at the time, this was a catastrophic misstep. So there you have it, those are 10 times WWE got the Royal Rumble main event wrong, read to you by a man who, I can't think of a joke, Keith Lee's just gonna win it. Let us know what you made of it all in the comments below, and of course, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. But in the meantime, thank you so much for watching. I have, of course, been Adam Cleary, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.